Yeah, at least he doesn't have typhus.
Yes. So I thought of you because I saw a news story about typhus in Los Angeles and rats and homeless and fecal matter and all the stuff you were talking about.
For how long have I been talking about it?
It's been over a year,
Yes,
I'd say.
thank you.
And you hear weird little, like there's, I always just call them like tells for your city. Like I always say the first time they put razor wire around the freeway sign, someone should have wondered, what's going on? Like, what kind of city are we running that we need to turn our freeway signs into like a gulag for letters, reflective letters. You shall stay here. No one will get you. So we do that, and then there are little weird things you do, like you're sitting at a signal and you look at a fire station. And like fire stations are like, you usually see guys out polishing up the rig or cooking chili or the Dalmatian or something. But you see the plaques like child safe zone, like drop your child here. Like don't throw it in the Nile.
Hey, another tell this morning. It rained and the freeways now have potholes. Forget the surface streets. Forget it. You can barely drive on it.
That's not a sign. That's just us That's us coming
unglued.
When you hear stories about the rains are coming, so the LAPD is clearing the Los Angeles River of all the homeless that are bivouacked in. It's like you're here. Like if someone's in the 50s and they're just driving around the 50s, like smoking a pipe, listening, laughing at a Bob Hope joke, and listening to some Bing Crosby or something, and they start talking about like, oh, we got to take the LA River and just clean the humanity. The humanities
and
gather
the syringes.
Yeah, the syringes
those flow to the
matter, and there's typhus, and we're going to put the barbed wire around, and what's that plaque in front of the fire? Like, they wouldn't know what to make of it, right?
They'd just be shocked.
They'd be shocked.
So the typhus thing, I knew that it was inevitable. Let me say this, inevitable. I'm going to describe something else that's inevitable after I describe what happened. So when I saw the gigantic, literally dumps developing on either side of the homeless encampments, feces, food, debris, and then you look, if you go up, walk up to them, they're alive.
Oy.
There's thousands of rats in every one of them. I thought, we are going to have a problem. The only reason humans live in concentrated environments we call cities is because they manage sanitation and rodents. That's why we can do this. So I thought, wow, typhus is endemic in Southern California. The natural pool, the reservoir, is usually rats. It's called murine typhus where I live, which because the mice had it, possums have it, raccoons have it, and so a few cases develop every year in the summertime. My son had it. It's horrible. It's a terrible illness, and I thought, we are going to have a major outbreak of typhus. Well, last summer it kicked in. And then now it's continued to escalate. Although the government says, it's no big deal, nothing. It's just a little typhus. We always have typhus.
A touch of typhus.
I'll tell you what, here's the tell in terms of the outbreak for me. Aside from the fact there's been a massive outbreak, ridiculous. It's a dangerous illness. They're even saying, totally treatable with antibiotics. People die of typhus. Make no mistake about it. It's a horrible
Especially
illness.
people that don't get treated like homeless people who aren't availing themselves of treatment.
But I'll tell you my tell. It's usually an illness that's up in the foothills by Pasadena. That's why we have it up there. Never seen it cross the 405. Major outbreak in Long Beach.
It's like that bobcat.
That's right. It was a cougar. It was a cougar.
Whatever. Is a bobcat and cougar the same thing?
No.
One likes younger
show
tigers.
pictures. We have bobcats in our back. You have bobcats in your yard, I'm sure.
I don't know. I'm scared of my dog.
Anyway, here's the problem. I don't want to hear about it. Let me finish this.
Mountain lion.
So they've done nothing.
Yes.
The outbreak is accelerating.
Yes.
Now, the way typhus works, it's in the rats. It gets on the fleas. The fleas and the rats go out into the community. The fleas get on our pets, and that's how we get it. So there's a vector. It's rat and flea. Which is why I knew it would spread all over the place, because you have a vector. It's not human to human.
Can't you just talk shit about Mark's shoulder?
Hold on.
I want to leave.
I opened with that.
Go.
Mark's moving the family to Atlanta.
Wait, I'm getting to the good part. So
We're going back to Atlanta.
So there's, just like when you don't vaccinate, viral epidemics are inevitable in concentrated populations. When you don't control the rat populations, the bacteria that live on the rats get into the human population. Typhus is first because that's endemic in our area. But there's another bacteria that lives in these rats. It's more contagious. 3 cases just came up in Wyoming. It's making our way to us. It's called Yersinia pestis. It is inevitable that we have an Yersinia outbreak as well. As the population of rats reaches a critical level, the Yersinia breaks out into the human population. You may have heard of Yersinia. The more common name for it is bubonic plague.
Oh,
it's inevitable.
I gotta say, there's no such thing as just piles of humanity living on top of each other and defecating in the street without God or Allah or nature just saying, okay, we're going to have to thin the herd like a little here.
Isn't that how the Enlightenment period came after the Dark Ages? Because half the population of the world died off and people had room to start.
Yeah. But they got control. Since that time, there was a general acknowledgement that, we can't have concentrated human population with rodents. Oh, no problem now. We're modern now. It's no problem. We don't need vaccinations because these things don't hurt us. You don't understand. They don't bother us. Look, this all is inevitable, and our government is failing. It's a failure of civilization. It's a fundamental failure of civilization. I am personally beside myself. I've been screaming about it. Adam's heard me screaming about it for a year on the Adam and Drew Show, and we're in it now. Somebody do something.
Are there any other first world nations that are dealing with this?
No.
Awesome.
No other country allows this to happen because they treat their mentally ill. We refuse to do that.
Yeah. All right. Stepping back and going, just let people do what they got to do, and will be somehow that's an evolved stance on things, is not evolved any more than your kid wanting to drive at 9 and smoke a doobie behind the wheel. Like it's not. There needs to be
irresponsible.
Well, there's a kind of to me the Gestalt is a sort of breakdown of authority. Like nobody wants to be the man. Like no one wants to go, hey, I'm in charge. I know it. I'm trained. This is my job. There shall not be this. This is what I'm paid to do. No more of this. It's like there's the bigger kind of picture. If you just sort of get out of this sort of particulars and you get into just a big, broader sort of macro of the whole thing, it's like nobody wants to tell anybody what to do or lay down the law or go here. Not in my city. Right. I run it like this. Because no one wants to be called cruel.
No, it's worse than that. I think the 60s and 70s, you and I lived through this. It was about don't trust adults. Cast off. Anybody over 35, you can't trust them.
You're the man.
Yeah, they're the man. Well, now you're the man, and you don't want to be the man. You don't want to be an adult.
Right.
Adults behave a certain way, and we don't know. We can't be. That's not cool. So we don't manage our colleges. We let kids do whatever the hell they want. Right? They're in charge. They know the answer to everything. They're the repository of great wisdom. And we don't manage our cities because, hey, man, it's modern times. These are noble homeless people making a choice to live on the street with the rats.
The main thing, I think, political expediency. I think if you're the kind of not hard line, but let's just say you're Bill Belichick and you just go, you show up late to 3 team meetings, your ass is cut. And that's why he wins. But then there's a picture of some poor guy walking out of the locker room and Bill Belichick standing at the door, and then they go, bully Bill Belichick. And then no one wants to be that guy. No one wants to be the guy who goes, hey, this is a city. You don't sleep on the sidewalk. We get you up off the sidewalk. We have rules here.
But it's the opposite of compassion. Rules. It's the opposite of compassion.
Well, yes. It's not helping.
These people are languishing and dying. And they're getting these infectious diseases before anybody, and they're ill to begin with. It's unthinkable that we allow them to be like this.
I agree.